new hour. Insensitivity training for a politically correct world. It's Tuesday morning. It is November the 28th, 2023. Hello. What's good with you?
Point.
We are The Woody Show, and my name's Woody. That's Ravy.
Good morning.
We got Greg Gorey.
Hi, Woody.
Menace is here.
What is up, Woody?
There's Seabass. We got Sammy.
Morning.
Bort's here. Caroline's here. Morgan, Vaughn. Phones open for you to be a part of the show at 877-44 Woody. That's 877-44 Woody. You can hit some of the text over to 22987. We'll get to some of the trending news headlines for you this hour. We've got the Redneck News playoffs, which continue. Playoffs? And it's the bad neighbor bracket.
Oh, geez.
All right. And I, dude, the same neighbors that drive me crazy, I have another complaint.
Oh,
About the same bad neighbors. They're the ones that have built the illegal apartments in the garage.
Yeah.
There's like 90 people living there.
90 people living there. They park like sticking out into the street. So like they take up their entire driveway with cars. There's so many people living there.
But you never contact the...
HOA.
Oh, we have. I have.
have.
The other neighbors have.
And they do nothing?
They do nothing.
How annoying.
Yeah, and so like the vehicles will take up all the driveway, and then they'll park two more behind that stick out into the street.
Right.
Like about halfway.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so people who are trying to get in and out of their own driveways or get down the street or whatever, like they just can't do it. And people have mentioned that 1,000 times. They're the one that park it in front of the mailboxes.
Right, can't even get your mail.
And the poor post guy keeps leaving the note on the car saying, hey, please don't park here between this hour and this hour so we can deliver the mail. And they've stopped delivering mail a couple different occasions where all the neighbors, which, by the way, this particular house, their mailbox, not in this cluster of mailboxes.
Oh,
wow.
So it doesn't affect them.
Oh, so they don't care.
Yeah,
I thought you lived in a nice neighborhood.
I do.
But that's that's pretty
doesn't matter.
good to have it like going all the way into the street.
Dude, it doesn't
the
matter.
parking.
I don't care what kind of neighborhood you live in. There's always one neighbor.
Yeah, what if you like rally everybody to not pay the HOA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely work.
Even if you got everybody on our street, like the number of houses that make up this HOA, it's insane. Thousands.
Wouldn't even know.
They wouldn't even care.
Jeez.
But,
I can't believe they don't
Now,
enforce that.
what have they done now?
The newest thing is they put their Christmas decorations out, which is fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Great. Stuff
Yeah.
for the yard,
Yeah.
but there's this one big, tall, nutcracker-looking thing that plays music
Oh.
24/7.
What?
Nutcracker music.
That's not...
Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Rip.
Anytime you open a door, you crack a window, whatever, all you hear are dun dun dun.
It's that loud?
Dude, it's got a volume knob on the back. So what I did last year, they had this thing out
Cranked
there
up to
last year.
11, apparently.
It's all the way up. So the other day, because my son was like, I can hear it when I'm going to bed. Because his room, the windows for his room face, like you look right outside his window, there's the stupid
the
thing,
house.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went over there and I turned it down about 3/4 of the way. You can still hear it. If you're walking by,
Right.
you would look and go, oh, and you
Yeah.
would still hear it. I didn't turn it all the way off. I didn't cut the cord. I didn't do that kind of stuff.
You didn't stab it.
No. But it's on 24/7. And the very next day when I walked outside, full blast again.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
How does it not bother them?
Dude, because they're white trash idiots. They're white. I hate them so much.
So it's going to be a battle of the knob.
Yeah, I thought
all
about sending a
season.
text to the woman who lives there. I was like, Diane, your dead mother wouldn't appreciate you treating the neighbors this way.
You have their number?
Oh, yeah.
Did
all the
they
neighbors
inherit
have.
a house?
No. These people were on bar rescue. I told you, right?
Yes.
They own this bar. They ended up on bar rescue because they can't do anything properly.
My God.
Right.
And then they end up
So
losing the
dumb.
business.
That bar's gone.
I'm convinced the only way they're keeping their house is by they have these, exchange students come in, and they get a certain amount of money for hosting the exchange students. And I think that's the only way they're floating their mortgage. They're such white trash idiots. There's one nice guy that lives there, and it's the main dude. I think he's the husband of this Diane chick. But dude, they suck. Everybody on our street hates them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
Battle of the
Such
knob.
dicks.
Have you considered getting dramatic and calling the police and saying this is a
I
fire
would never.
hazard?
I would never call the police.
Like
on
that,
something
the garage apartment
I'm
thing?
not like that.
I would.
Fire hazard.
But
And the way they're parking, they can get tickets for being halfway out into the sidewalk.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
definitely would.
That
be
is illegal.
calling the
technically.
parking authority.
Yeah, it sounds
sure.
like they're blocking the sidewalk.
I'm gonna call the parking
That's
authority.
a mad hood
That's a
move
thing.
right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I would.
Well, I mean, you can just go on being frustrated.
Well, no, I know. And I
I
can
would-
blame the HOA, but
After all this time,
Yeah.
the house has been like where it gets listed as being in foreclosure. I don't know, 6 or 8 times just since we've moved in a couple doors down.
oh my God.
And one of these days, I hope it takes. I hope to find all their stuff out on the front lawn at some point. All of it. All of it. You and your 10 exchange students.
Yep. And your
Or you
nutcracker.
could actually call the authorities, which I would have done
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah.
bad.
I don't
As
know why
soon as those garage apartments popped up,
God,
Yeah, it's
911.
Not that outrageous.
911.
I hate them so. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll say, hey, I'm pretty sure those garage apartments aren't legal.
Right.
How about you take the stupid thing down? How about you stop parking in the street? Otherwise, I'll call the county.
Sure.
Exactly.
Because that's
Make
how they
that
make their
threat.
money. I can threaten them.
Right.
Yeah.
It won't stop.
Yeah, what do you care if they hate you?
I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Start doing something.
I'm with Woody. I'm not calling the police on anybody. But,
Well, that's why society has devolved.
I
the way
would-
it
I'm
has.
not
I
a Karen,
would-
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yes, you know?
I'm not a Karen like that, but
Yeah.
I would,
I thought you did call the police recently.
me?
Yeah, didn't you see somebody
No.
doing something with garbage cans or something like that?
I
No,
know,
not
last
garbage cans. People were, somebody had a master key for the mailboxes.
Right.
Oh.
And then they were
I was gonna say-
stealing everybody's
Yeah,
Wow.
that needed a 911.
What a
Yeah.
carrot.
Sure.
The last story I remember Menace calling the police over
Yup.
was the guy when he saw the dead guy in the car outside,
yeah.
outside the pharmacy.
That's okay to call the cops.
Oh, okay. Well,
But like
good.
I would be creative and I would, put a letter in the neighbors thing. I don't want any confrontation like back and forth
Oh,
because that would suck for my everyday. to do
Exactly.
that.
No, I agree
See,
with that. But I'd call the
that's-
police.
Yeah,
That's my wife's thing.
but I would just put a letter in there like, look, dog, I know about these illegal things.
But when it comes to good cop, bad cop in these situations, I don't care.
Yeah, Woody doesn't care.
I don't need to be friends with these people. If I
Right.
see them
Understand,
outside,
but-
like my wife would be uncomfortable. Like after there would be a confrontation, she'd be uncomfortable seeing them. I'd be the guy like that very next day after her mother effing them and everything else and calling her the C word, going like, "Hey guys,"
Hey.
like I don't care.
Yeah, I'm like your wife.
I don't
White
want to.
trash
I want it
idiots.
to be.
I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to hear anybody.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate him so much. Well, I like the one guy. His name's Robert. He's a nice guy. Rob A.
Well, take him down anyway.
He's a super nice guy. I don't know how he puts up with anybody else in that house. You know what? It's the
Yeah.
house of misfit toys.
Are they the ones with that
Right,
loud
yeah.
dog?
Oh, they have oh my
Or the
god.
two dogs, right?
Dude, it's so the daughter, who I'm not even sure lives there, she keeps her dogs there because she can't have these giant dogs. I mean,
Right.
they're like, what do they call those? The,
Mastiff?
bull mastiff.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
They have two of those, and so when the one gets going, it gets the other one going, and so I'll have to record it because you hear like, and it permeates any window, any door that you have closed in the house. You could be on the back side of the house and you hear all that, and then
How
you walk
annoying.
outside to see what's going on. A-holes.
Oh,
And by the way,
victim already.
I did not change their names to protect their identities.
Hell no.
Yeah, Diane.
Diane. C word.
Is everybody else's neighbors cool? Cause
Oh, and she's
I
a
don't-
chiropractor.
Oh.
So you know she's
Oh, so
yeah,
she's
yeah.
a phony.
yeah.
Yeah, I all my neighbors are cool. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood.
I
But-
love all my neighbors.
Yeah, I know
Except for
Ravy
this
had
one.
that beef. Oh, yeah.
I did have beef with the house on the corner because they kept blowing their trash right into the street.
Oh yeah.
And he's stopped doing that, but now you should see his yard. I'm like, I don't know what's worse, the yard or all this
What?
crap out in the street.
You told them.
I did.
You told them to stop blowing.
Yeah, but
I-
dude,
His yard is so disgusting.
everybody's got that house. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. Everybody's got that at least one.
Yeah.
At least one neighbor.
Well, Greg, you have that neighbor that has like 15 cars, right? Is that the one you beef with?
No, luckily they're further up the street, and if I was that neighbor, I'd be bummed about that because he has a car service and he has so many
Oh,
cars.
that's right.
But luckily it's further away. But my issue is with my direct next door neighbor. Garbage day is Thursday. They take out the garbage Tuesday morning.
All right.
Leave their garbage cans out till Saturday.
Potentially 4 days out of the week, the garbage cans.
4
are
or
out there.
5 days. There's
That is
garbage
so
cans.
unsightly.
It
So
is.
weird.
And then when they finally bring them in, there's garbage that has fallen out, little bags, wrappers,
Ugh.
tops of cups, all over the street in front of their house.
Yeah.
They
Weird.
see it, and then what happens? I go clean it up every week
Oh, you're a neighbor.
because I don't want to look at it. Oh, I
And
hate it.
you know, it'd be one thing of like, man, maybe it's us. Maybe we're just a little too sensitive to stuff. Everybody hates them. Like everybody thinks they're
You
jackals.
gotta rally.
Everybody.
Have a meeting. Have a committee.
We got the Redneck News playoffs. It's all the bad neighbor.
Is your neighbors?
Diane wins. End
Right.
of story.
And Diane.
By the way, yesterday the winner from really the meth bracket was the Story Gomer Sanderson in Tennessee, who ended up in jail after his girlfriend ate that salad that he had secretly sprinkled with the meth.
Yeah.
So that was the winner. That moves on to the semifinal round. Now today, listen to the 4 nominees, and then you're going to text your vote over to 22987. Which one do you think goes into the semifinal round, the bad neighbor bracket? And the first one is about some drama that's been happening at this apartment complex. Now, this is over a 6-month period. Somebody had been on the regular barfing off their balcony onto the neighbor's patio below. So there were multiple notes that were posted in the lobby asking whoever was doing that to stop. One saying, quote, "Why is it so hard for whoever is vomiting over the side of their balcony to simply not do that?
Good question.
Your vomit is landing on the furniture, clothes that are out there drying, everyone else below you. You seem to have uncontrollable urges to vomit whenever you are on your balcony, so maybe stay off the balcony or keep a bucket on the balcony so you can vomit into that instead. We can see where the vomit starts, so we can easily work out which unit is responsible. Don't think you are somehow anonymous. Please, just stop it." Well, after that one, whoever it was took the advice of getting a bucket, which they filled and then dumped over the side. The building management talked to the guy and told him that if it continued, he would be tossed out, which eventually, I guess, is what happened.
Good.
Yeah. So that's nominee number 1 here in the bad neighbor bracket. Nominee number 2. This is from Kingsland, Texas, where this one neighbor's pet pigs kept getting loose
Oh, yeah.
and ended up attacking this chick and her family.
My grandma is being attacked by a random pig. Now my grandma's being attacked.
It's a pig. My daughter got hurt out here. And then he barreled through. My mom wrestled with him at the doorway to try to prevent him from coming in. He barreled on through, got a hold of my dad. My mom tried to lay on top of him to crunch him down until the cops got here. And he overpowered her and got on top of her. And he had hers flattened like an accordion. I'm standing inside my parents' house with a hammer and a knife trying to defend myself and defend my family. My whole family's scared. They feel like they're prisoners in their own home. They can't go nowhere.
So according to the report, this pig is over 300 pounds,
It's huge.
black and white spotted, foaming at the mouth. Not just a one-time thing. The pig got loose several times and would show up at their house and go after everyone. Her daughter, her boyfriend, her disabled parents, as you heard. So they called animal control. The pig ran off after being shot with a pepper ball. And on one of those other occasions, the owner came by looking for the pig and, according to the report, threatened the woman's parents if they shot at the pig.
Yeah.
And when it was all said and done, there were some bumps and bruises. And the pig is back home with the owner, who the cops say has secured the pig's enclosure. But no charges filed, which the neighbor is pissed about.
I bet.
Yeah. That's nominee number 2 in the bad neighbor bracket. Nominee number 3 from Pulaski County, Arkansas, where this woman, Erica Craig, has been having a problem with one of her neighbors who has been pooping in buckets, like the 5-gallon Home Depot kind, just pooping in them.
They've been taking their feces in buckets and dumping it at the back of their property, and then across the street at another person's property. They've been dumping it on their property too. And they've been doing this now for about 3 years. Everybody around them have sold their houses, which are leaving the ones that are still left here to just to sit and suffer.
Yeah. So not only does it stink, she says when the wind blows, it's awful. You can't even sit outside. You can't even sit with the door open because the smell just consumes the house. Also, the poop washes into her yard when it rains.
Ah.
She says they've been doing this now for about 3 years, and at one point, they had hauled out a porta potty and they were just letting it wash down into the ditches. So Erica is trying to go all through the proper channels, but so far nobody's done anything about it. She even called the local news. They reached out to the county officials, but were told they don't have the authority when it comes to sewage matters.
Oh, okay.
So she got referred again now to the Arkansas Department of Health. Got told to contact a state plumbing inspector. Nobody from that office got back. Like, it's just a mess. Literally and figuratively. That's nominee number 3 in the bad neighbor bracket. And finally, nominee number 4 from Kiski Township, Pennsylvania, where a man opened his door and saw a 6-foot alligator on his front porch. He called for help, and that's when they figured out that the little fella belonged to one of the neighbors, this guy named Dominic Hayward, who it turns out had another 9 gators at his house. He was arrested for improper sale and transportation of animals, and all the gators were rescued by the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. The neighbors knew about Dominic, and they figured it was just a matter of time before they got loose, because he didn't exactly keep up the place, you know.
Like, how's no one calling the cops on this guy?
I know.
According to the police, the gators' enclosure was filthy, broken, and they were climbing all over the residence. One of them had its mouth taped shut. The largest of the gators was found, this one named Thor. He was huge, and Dominic just let him have free range of the house.
Shout out Thor.
FYI, this is no state permit required to keep gators kind of place. The state does not require any kind of regulation of reptiles.
Somehow I think that bill is coming before the council.
And that's just fine with one of the other neighbors who told the news, quote, "We moved to the country to live in the country. We don't need any more rules and regulations here." At last check, Dominic was locked up at the Armstrong County Jail on a parole violation, and that is nominee number 4. And those are your nominees here in this playoff round of the Redneck News Story of the Year playoffs.
I hope they didn't kill those gators. Gators just being gators.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
their fault.
They're just
So-
gating.
So text to number 1 for the dude who was evicted from his apartment building for repeatedly puking off the balcony all over his neighbor's stuff. Text to number 2 for the story in Texas where some dude's pet pig kept getting loose and terrorizing the neighborhood. Text number 3 for the one from Arkansas, the woman who's been fighting with some neighbors who have been pooping in buckets and dumping it and stinking up the neighborhood. And then nominee number 4, the dude in Western Pennsylvania who had one of his pet alligators get loose in the neighborhood while 9 others were back crawling all over his house. So 1,
Okay.
2, 3, or 4. Who moves on into a
Okay.
semifinal round here of the Redneck News Story of the Year playoffs? We're going to take a quick break. Got some more Woody Show next. Hang on.
Coming up next on The Woody Show, Ravy will tell you her deepest